It's another beautiful Tuesday morning from AYOGEN TV. As you all know, it is political cycles again, where we discuss trending issues affecting the nations. With me here in the studio is a colleague of mine. We are going to discuss about trending issues as regard political happening in the country. I am Adeu Soladi Jabi, and here with me in the studio is good morning. Welcome back. It's good to have you today. I'm your guest as well, Charles Olowe Oluwafemi. Who I and HBA will be co-hosting this program this morning, Political Cycles. We are here to give you the best and to analyze everything going on within the political space of Nigeria, everything that cuts across the all sectors of this nation. As we know that a lot of things are going wrong, some are going right in this nation. So we have our guest in the house this morning as well, who will be making justice to our topic for today, insecurity in Nigeria. So as it's not a news anymore that Nigeria is confronted with different security challenges. We have X-Men, we have bandits, we have Boko Haram, we have food and standard of living insecurity as well. All this insecurity issue cut across all spheres of this nation. These are what we're going to be making justice to this morning as we journey together on political cycles. And with all this morning, we have our guest in person of Comrade Akinfemiwa. We are welcome on body. So can you tell our audience at home that are watching us across the globe? You are welcome.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. I'm still myself, Comrade Akifemo Akinte.
It's good to have your viewers at home. Comrade Akifemo Akinte is a security expert and a political analyst. So we are glad to have you here on the program today.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, this morning we're going to tackle insecurity. As we know that in this country, every day we wake up to hear the news of one insurgents, bandits, kidnapping, raping, a lot of things that are ugly to the ear. So, but today we are going to look into the factors, the government's role in insecurity, individual role. What are the roles expected by the citizen? What are the role of government in tackle security? Then we'll be looking at the way out, the solution, the partnership to all these socio-economic insecurity, as well as we talk about security challenge as your role and my role. And to that effect, we'll be looking at the challenges and possibly solutions and effects on insecurity on our economic as a nation. Yes. On the 6th of January, Nigerian government declared bandits as terrorist group. You know, terrorism has been in existence in this country over years, but it's so unfortunate that just a week ago, the president of this country declared bandits as a terrorist. Imagine. So, and I could recall that last year, the Nigerian government declared IPOB, those who are fighting for the independence of Biafran nation. So they were declared as a terrorist. HB, what do you think is wrong? What's the problem with our government? Well, actually, if we could look at it critically, yeah, everything has actually turned ugly and has been turned to politics. And if the government is coming this at that time to declare bandit as a terrorist group, when it is obvious they are undermining the security of the country. IPOB has actually been declared as a terrorist group. Likewise, people that are actually fighting for the Yoruba nation has also been declared as one of the terrorist groups. So, for the fact that a bandit has actually been killing, kidnapping, doing all sorts of ugly events, the president should have come up and declare them as a terrorist group. But like politics of Nigeria, it's actually placed to be dirty. I'm pretty sure our guests will do justice to that part. Okay, Mr. Akifemiwa. Now, like you've read and you've heard in these past few weeks, that the President Muhammadu Buhari declared the bandits as a
Yeah.
terrorist. Do you think this is the right time? This is timely or inaccurate to declare them as a terrorist because their operation have been over a year.
Yeah.
So, what's your view about you as as a security
As a
expert?
security expert and a political analyst, Nigerian government has been a reactive government and not proactive when it comes to security of life and properties of the citizens. In Nigeria, we hear rumors of crime that is yet to be committed, but the government will sit down thinking it might not happen. And even after the commission of the crime, they will now be reacting,
When the deed have been
the thing
done.
has been done. So Nigerian people have been just reactive and not proactive when it comes to the safety of life and properties of the
So it
citizens.
is expected from a every reasonable government to be proactive, not just active.
Yes.
But your whole conclusion and submission is Nigerian government have not been proactive.
They are only reactive
They are only reacting to aftermath. Yeah.
situations.
Okay, you said they are only reactive, they are not proactive. What our viewers at home want to know actually understand that aspect very well.
To be proactive means you put measures in place to protect your citizens, to prevent crimes, to prevent attacks, not putting things in place when the attack has been done. For example, in the southwest part of Nigeria, we've been hearing of Fulani herdsmen, until the situation affects those in government. They didn't come up with a reactive measure, but it's until it affects them.
Okay,
before they
let's
come.
take a look at it from this angle. It has actually affects governors from the north. And don't you think the governor from the north should actually take a step, even if the presidency is not taking a step? We could see the moment the security of the nation is affecting the southwest governor. They come up with a meeting which was headed by the Ondo State Governor Rotimi Akeredolu. So they set up a state security network, Amotekun. Then quite a number of time governor from these states being affected with bandits has been attacked. There was a time Governor Umar Babangida was attacked. There was a time Governor Samuel Ortom was attacked. Don't you think these governors should have actually come up with something to protect themselves?
Actually, those governors have their own means of protecting their people. They have their civilian joint task force, known as the CJTF, that have been working within their jurisdiction. But they have been expecting the federal government to put something in place to declare bandits as terrorists. And this came very late, but to God be the glory, it happens. So now the president has declared bandit as a terrorist group. Should we be expecting a new turnaround from the security personnel, from the our military men, to tempt task force committee? Because let me just say in short, their work has not proven to us that they are actually working. Yes, in military, there's what we call mode of operation. Okay. That's the rules of engagement. These military men are just sent there not to attack, because they are not terrorists. They are not declared terrorists. They are declared bandits. So they are just to go there and live in peace, protect the citizen. But now that they've been declared as terrorists, it is now it's mandatory for the security personnel to go to their enclaves, to go to their camps, attack them, chase them away, kill them, arrest them, and do it all. Now, they have charged the service chiefs, the chief of army staff, air staff, naval staff, and the regional police to move. And this can be referred to as a marching order for them to enter into their enclaves and chase them out of the country.
Yeah, Mr. Kebima, are you, sometimes most of the operation of these bandits and terrorists, it seems to me that is a program or a planned execution. Exactly. Because the terrorists will have invaded a community, even spend hours within a community. Then we have yes, and we have a nearby military checkpoints near to those villages and those cities. Whereas none of these people, none of these military personnel will show up to cut or to chase away these people until they've infected. We have even had a story whereby this set of people they had the whole village into ransom for a whole day, for days. Do you think our government or some of the personnel, personnel are not the ones sponsoring this? And also, early last year, we heard about the chopper that always go to drop deliver food to them at their abode there inside the bush. So now, who are the people in charge of this airline? Is it not the Nigerian government? Now, who are the people? A flight, there can't be any flight without the necessary thing. So protocol. There should be an approval from the government. So no individual can even hold a chopper or an helicopter without the approval. You can't fly, even though you are dealer, you cannot fly it without the consent, without the approval of the Nigeria government.
Yes.
So what's the problem?
Yes, General Sani Abacha said, and I quote, he said, if terrorism survive 24 hours in a nation or in a state, yes, the governments are involved. If I say the government are involved, if I say the government are involved, that doesn't mean that those in the name of our, if we're talking of government, what of the local leaders, okay, the community heads, even the youth leaders in the community, they are part of the government. We the citizens are part of the government. So that shows people people from inside are among those who are giving them information.
So what you are trying to say, you are going by the way of the definition of government, that is the government of the people by the
Yes.
people. So you are concluding that the government is the people.
Yes.
Now, but let me now quote you that government, when you talk about the government in this country, now, from your own evaluation, do you think this particular government have been obeying the rule of law? One. Now, if you claim that okay, this definition is true, but I will oppose that because this definition is not applicable to Nigeria. It's not a government by the people for the people. It's a government by the selected minority set of people for them selfish interest. Because in their approach, in their practice, it is not evident that we are really practicing the real democracy. They are not for the people, they are only for their own interest.
They are trying their best. For example, before the federal government declared the bandits as terrorists, they did something. Okay. They moved an ex parte motion through the Ministry of Justice to the Federal High Court in Abuja, and the Federal High Court declared them bandits since November 25th, 2021, before today. But the federal government deemed it fit to give it an executive backing to declare it, and they prepare a gazette. This will make it official, and it won't be verbal.
Okay.
So that's why they make this official that any bandits, and they named about 2 bandits, the Ya Bandini and
now,
the Ya Tantana.
Okay, we have a lot of group, especially from northern side, whereby we have some of them. We have Boko Haram as the international terrorists that we can say, okay,
yes.
Wow. So and they cut across most African and Arab nations. So, but if Nigeria government, the president, can declare IPOB as a terrorist group because they have an agenda, they have objective, they have their goal, they have their target, and they have their demand. But these bandits were being pampered. Even we have the case of Gumi, who are able to go to their ambush to negotiate with them and come back and tell us, even defending them.
Yes, because the Gumi sees himself as a community leader, as a religious leader who believe that his people are just violent and doesn't what they are doing is that his own belief that what they are doing is not
it's not a crime.
Against the constitution.
According to him, in one of his reactions, declaration of bandits as terrorists meaningless like that of IPOB. That said, I hope this declaration will not give the license to people to be profiling herdsmen in general as a terrorist and taking law into their hands against them. It will cause more mayhem. Now, this Gumi, from the word, thank God, he used the word bandits.
And
what is IPOB? Indigenous people of Biafra, and they are fighting for sovereignty and independence of their own. The word bandits, even literary meaning, dictionary meaning of bandits make us to understand these are a kind of rebellious set of people that call they are ready, they are destructive, mayors everywhere. So now, is there any relationship between these two set of group? Some are objective, The other one, they just they obstruct every activities and
Yes.
shut down the whole
There
place.
is difference between them,
Yeah.
and I can say there are also similarities between them.
Okay, what's the similarity?
The difference between them is that both IPOB bandits are all fighting against the federal system of government of Nigeria.
Okay.
But the difference between them is that the IPOB is a secessionist. They want to go. They want to leave the country. They want to become a country on their own.
Okay.
These bandits, I thank God, Gumi made mention of the herdsmen.
Yes.
That means the herdsmen are also set of bandits.
Bandits. That is, some of these,
Some of
they are still bad. Not all herdsmen are criminals. But they are majority of these terrorists, they are hiding under the umbrella because majority of them happen to be from northern side of the part of the country. Okay.
Let me actually comment to these aspects. The other time, my colleagues, I was asking a question concerning people dropping foods and there was this particular some foreigners were kidnapped, and it doesn't took the military from outside the country some days to come and rescue these foreigners. If some outsider can come into Nigeria and rescue their own within a space of 2 days, why is still taking the militaries, all the military men, some days, even years, to end this banditry, to end this insecurity in our nation?
Because there have not been a direct order.
Okay. Then who are the people that needs to give this direct order?
There is bureaucracy. Okay. And this bureaucracy is what is affecting democratic governments.
So that means there are some certain set of people who have interest in this insecurity that is affecting nation. They are benefiting something from this.
In the bureaucracy hierarchy, I believe there might be sabotage in between. Because the president will order the minister of defense. The minister of defense will call the chief of defense staff. The chief of defense staff will call the chief of army, all these chiefs and the special. Then you give them orders. They are not the ones to go to the battlefield. They have their generals. They will now invite their generals, organize operation team, send them to the battlefield. The battlefield, those terrorist groups also have spies. And I can say vividly that there are spies in the military and the police.
Those are the ones who is.
They will sabotage the effort of the military.
Okay, now, come to think of it, Gumi, I would like to take off from Gumi issues. Gumi has been one of the religious leaders who have actually been meeting with banditry to sort out for peace. Like you said, he said it was for peace. Now that the government has declared them as terrorist group, should we be expecting more of Gumi and negotiating with them, or the government will come in and arrest him?
If Gumi made, as in, according to the rules now that they've been declared terrorist group, any individual, any personality that negotiated with them, that made any attempts to communicate them, is also a terrorist.
So now Gumi is a religious leader and someone who wants peace. Now he's negotiating. He wants peace. He knew people from his community. He knew members of banditry. He knew people who are into banditry. He knew there are some set of people who are angry with the system of government, who form these, who form this caucus, or let me say, who form this cabal to be undermining the threat of the nation. Now he's meeting with them. Will the government already knew Gumi is negotiating for
as an agent,
as
even
an
as
agent.
a human rights fighter,
Yes.
you always come out to defend
The citizens.
even not just the banditry.
He always defend them. So now, should we be expecting that the government should wade in and arrest him so far?
Sure, that's what should be done. Because he a terrorist, and anybody making contact with them is also a terrorist. Because we can see him as funding and supporting terrorism.
Okay, Mr. Toye, we really appreciate you. If you are just joining us, you are watching our AYOGEN TV. Kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel to always receive notifications. You can also check us on Facebook, AYOGEN League. We are always there. Mr. Toye, we really appreciate you. My colleagues will take it up from there.
So we are actually we are really delighted for coming on ahead and to make your own points of view. We don't take this for granted, and we hope to have you more on subsequent program. And so it's good to have you. Thank you very much
for
coming. And viewers out there, we are going on a short break. As we come back, we'll be bringing in another guest who is also a comrade and a political political analyst and a human rights fighter. So he will be coming on board to make justice to other trending issues, both controversy, and as we'll be linking it with the race to 2023 presidential election or general election, as is not no more news that BAT 2023 is official now. Yesterday, the former governor, yes, met with the president of Nigeria to declare the intention, yes, to run.
He made it known to the president that he's running for the presidential seat, but he's yet to declare it.
So the race is getting interesting. Wow. Okay, just sit back and take and sip your tea as we bring more of the political story in Nigeria. Stay tuned.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, welcome back on Political Circuits. This morning we are discussing Nigeria security challenge, insecurity in Nigeria. We've been talking about our guest speaker who just left the studio. I've made his analysis on security challenge in Nigeria, the stages, the protocol that have to follow, and his view about the Nigeria being inactive and not being proactive to every security challenge. He makes us to understand that every day we hear rumors of attack, but the Nigerian government has been reluctant the terrorist group, the bandits, as a terrorist group. But fortunately, we are still a welcome development that they are eventually declared as a terrorist. So
it has actually been the news, and the Nigerians have been expecting so far.
Exactly.
Because they've caused a lot of havoc, they've caused a lot of mine, a lot of companies have left, not a lot of things they also to the benefit. Well, based on the fact that they are causing a lot of mine, the government, even outside world, have actually neglected them. But now that the government has declared them as a terrorist group, the military are now taking it upon themselves to search for them, to nab them down. Then peace will restore back to the region, and the investors will come in to invest, because you cannot invest in a place
where there's ravage, there's insecurity.
That the business will just collapse.
Exactly. We have the case of where they set houses ablaze,
exactly,
burn down buildings.
Everything.
So no reasonable, not saying in the future an investor will come to a kind of a region. So where we have people that do not sleep with an eyes closed, so you have to sleep while your eyes are open. So now we are going to be looking into the economic implication. Can an economic trade in a country where there is insecurity? Do you expect an economic boost in a place where people cannot live in peace? Do you expect any reasonable investment? Do you expect development where a set of people are working as an insider for the terrorists? People like Ahmed Gumi. So he has been someone, he identified these people, he knows these people by so
definitely,
what we expect now.
You go into the forest negotiate with them,
Then-
knows their different hideouts. So I think at this time, since the government have declared them a terrorist group, they should first invite Gumi, the DSS should invite in as much he knew where their hideout is, they should go there and set up a very good operation
And we hope that this will not just be an audio declaration.
Exactly.
Because it's one thing to declare.
In some recent, the moment they declare the reaction, Operation Phantom Dance,
crocodile dance, different kind of dance.
So we reaction this time around.
This current
audio
honestly, this current they are to produce. In fact, they've really tried.
Exactly.
They started with recession, they started with subsidy removal. In each year, they're coming with different grammar. They have felony and simony, different things, especially when Mr. Lai Mohammed will come on board to tell us different kind of big grammar that cannot even put food on a table. Nigerians are tired of this grammar. Even to the extent that one can even say, okay, maybe all this grammar are what is causing all this mayhem in the community.
So this time Nigeria is expecting results. Mr. President surely knows the mind of the of Nigeria, the citizen.
Yeah.
So they are happy to hear the news that our bandits declared as a terrorist.
Then Nigerians are looking forward for Ahmed Gumi, what happened to be the agent. So he should be the one that will lead the military to the death of those people. So very quickly, we have in the studio second guest speaker. He's a political analyst, a comrade, woman, a fighter, and also an entrepreneur. So this morning we are glad to have in person of comrade Alabi Abdullahi. Good morning. You are welcome to Political Cycle this morning.
Good morning, my people. And good morning to all Nigeria. I see me and myself, Alabi Ayobami Abdullahi.
Okay, it's good to have you in the studio this morning. This morning we'll be making justice to the topic insecurity.
That is how aligning the security threat of the nation. It can actually have a lot of effects. So many things.
So, what are things you think are detriment to the development of this nation? As we, everybody has been clamoring for development, that there is no new thing, they need empowerment, they need job opportunity, investors to come to this nation. But each day, we see investors vacating the nation. So, what is your take on, what will you say on the security sector of this?
Actually, the first thing that when we are talking about insecurity in a particular sector or insecurity in a country, the first thing we need to look at is what is the level of corruption as far as the community is concerned. Because when we are talking about insecurity, what leads to an insecurity in a particular country or a particular state or a particular community is the level of corruption. When there is a high level of corruption in any society, believe me, say there will be an insecurity in such country or community.
So, how will you define your corruption? Because now you are trying to make us understand that one of the elements that come or that bring about this security challenge is the level of corruption in the country. So now, okay, many people have been defining corruption, stealing, this and that. So, in one word, how will you define the word security as one of the elements that bring about insecurity of life, property, and the like?
Thank you. I've said it earlier, I said corruption. But when we are talking about corruption, what does corruption do with? To many people, they believe that corruption is a situation whereby a government personnel, maybe he steal or something, or maybe he embezzle a particular community fund. No, that is not. It is part of it, but that is not what we reverse as corruption. When we talk about corruption, the real corruption is what we call connection, as far as this country is concerned now.
Okay.
That is what we call corruption. Because in a situation whereby some they are supposed to have a particular something or a particular project or a particular work by merit, and such a person is being denied or some of such thing.
And being awarded to someone that is less qualified without any criteria.
Not even qualified.
Okay.
So that is it.
Let me take it off you know, what are the implications of this?
It will surely affect our economy, and it's even affecting our economy now. See, these days now, for you to buy a sachet of pure water is very costly these days. For my survey, in Osun State, a sachet of pure water is being sold at rate of 20 naira, 280 naira, 2 and 0 naira.
And we also importing water in this nation.
We are not importing water, but what of those wrappings, cellular wrappings? What of those wrappings? They are not being produced in Nigeria because all the sector has been collapsed. I mean, the companies that produce all these things, as far as this nation is concerned, everything has been pulled up.
And according to scientists, majority of these companies are very basic. And based on the fact that there is a first security, majority of them are needed.
That's what I'm talking about. And that is why I tag it as a kind of corruption.
Okay, why can't we as a country, because they call us giants of Africa, are we just giants with mouth? Why can't we have our own company where we produce things, where we do things? These days, politicians will say they want to do empowerment, they will give you bicycle, they will give you fridge, they will give you money and the likes. But why can't we have a company where we produce things, bring in individuals, let them work there, give them salaries?
Thank you, my brother. All these things have been put in place before. I'll still go back to that is what we call corruption. And they call it connection. In a situation, even though in this particular community in which we are, do not forget, in this state, we have brick industry, which is cited at this red brick industry, which is cited at, we have glass company as far as this country is this state is concerned. Even though in this town that we are into, we have so many industries, but
are they really functioning, or they
that's
are
what I'm
just
saying.
there with just a mouth?
That's what I'm saying. Are they really functioning today? They are not functioning again. They are not functioning anymore. And what caused this? That is what we reverse as corruption, which they call as connection. In a situation whereby someone that's supposed to be a teacher teaching English in a particular class or a particular department, and the person is being taken to an industry where they're supposed to be producing, let's say for instance, where they're supposed to be producing edible. Do you think such person who doesn't have the basic knowledge, even the knowledge, when we're talking about
by virtue of connection,
by virtue of connection, and such a person will not even be placed a kind of in a below office. Such a person will be, that is misplacement of authority, and that which is what we refer as connection, which is corruption. Those people that are supposed to be in that position not given the job, and that is why you see a lot of our people, a lot of graduates who dey supposed to be productive in every section. You see them with they now become an okada rider and also thugs
wandering
around the country.
So you can say that misplaced priority has been one of the catalysts contributed greatly to insecurity challenges, where we have graduates without job, without hope, and we have millions of young-minded people coming out of university
who are actually intelligent, who understand this.
They have the ability, they have the skill that will boost our economy. But all these talents in them, skill in them are not nurtured. As a special educator, then I remember then when we talk about nature nurture controversy, whereby when you have a particular nature in you and it's not being properly nurtured, it will be used to the disadvantage instead of being used at. So majority of all these fraud, cyber crime, criminal that are being committed by young people. Like I remember, according to one of the policies, National Policy on Education 1973, stated that one of the objectives of educative is to contribute to the economic development of the nation
Of the
and
nation,
also the technological technology advancement of it.
of the
But
nation.
it's very unfortunate that we are not contributing to the economic development.
Same
We
thing
are
as the technological
technologies,
advancement.
and we have people. When you search the people who are making ground in the in ICT in technology across the country, when you trace their origin, majority of them are from Africa, and we have majority of them who happen to hail from this particular country we are Nigeria.
They are being trained over.
They are being trained, they are given unnecessary equipment. But what's the problem? Why is it that it's very difficult for our government to make a right provision, to make necessary equipment, to place everything in, to make everything ready that people will be able to thrive and to contribute?
Comrade Alabi have said this all that it is corruption.
Corruption.
And when you have connections, or a wrong connection will actually lead to corruption.
And even
if you are bringing in people of diverse stuff into a company who doesn't have the basic knowledge of certain things, you're bringing them into a company, definitely the company will go bankrupt.
just imagine a pressman who study mass com and say, okay, because of one connection or the other, being incorporated or they work up work job opportunity into an oil and gas company because of influence. Exactly, these are things that are making that are breaking down the our system. So how long are we going to linger in this kind of situation whereby it's all what matter is who you know, not what you do.
What you can do,
So
what you are capable
it's
of.
it's very disheartening and saddening that we find ourselves in this nation. So, Comrade Alabi, what is the way out? What do you think the government should put in place, as well as the citizen? What are the role that we have to play in ensuring that we tackle and eradicate insecurity in Nigeria, so we can have a better Nigeria, a peaceful community where economy can thrive, where there can be development, where the available resources will not be destroyed or vandalized by angry mob.
We are climbing for Nigeria will be great, Nigeria will be great. So what are the solutions that we need?
What are the contributions? Yes.
Thank you, my brother. The first solution to this problem is this equity. Now, when you talk about equity, what is good for A should also be good for B. When there is that, believe me sincerely, this country is going to become a great country. As you said it earlier on, you said most of the industries have been playing in the northern part of this country. Now, the materials that they make use of, are they generating those materials from the north? They are not. They are not generating those materials from the north. They generate most of this material from this part of the world. I mean, from southern part of this country. But why are they placing all those this thing? It's because of what we call connection, which is corruption. Because we are in the system. Let's say we are on power now, and an investor is coming into the country. I, as a person, I just look at, okay, instead of me to look at, okay, which particular state or which particular local government can we place this in so that it can be a kind of productive. So I will not look into that. I just I cannot take it to my hometown. Let me take it to my in-law hometown. Or I have a friend like that. Let me just place it in their community. If the necessary materials are not in that particular community. So if all these things can be put in place, if everything like this can be put in place, believe me sincerely, Nigeria is going to be a greater country. And the other time when you talk about technology, believe me sincerely, go and look at it. The first one that first produced, the person is from this country.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot.
And that was during the regime of Baba Chief Olusegun Obasanjo. And such a person, the person is from OAU, he's an OAU student. But after he used Tortoise car. And he produced such a car. But some months ago, we didn't hear anything about the guy. The next thing that we just is that they just come from overseas and they picked the guy. Ever since then, the guy hasn't come to Nigeria.
Locate straight.
Even though the that even design all these SIM cards that we're talking about. The person is in Nigeria. And most of all this technology, because our government, they are not assisting us. That is why I do maybe particular senator, a particular lawyer go do that kind of empowerment, I'll just look at them and you see people jubilating because a graduate, a master graduate, someone with master, and you're being given a bike. What are we talking about? I do ask them, ask your politician, how many of their family did they give all these things to?
How many of them are people in Nigeria? How many of their children are studying or schooling in this
Even though those people that are even in Nigeria, where are they? Are they living with us? Are they living with us? They are not living with us. They live far from us. They live extraordinary life because when they are even living, that is when they are where they are living. When you go, you even ask yourself that is this part of Nigeria?
You know what actually amazed me about our politicians is that we give an name no money. So do you expect me someone even the country the what's it called, the electricity of the country is not stable, so how do you expect me you empowered me with just a refrigerator, you empowered someone with what was it called, car, there is no fund to fund what's it called, somehow it looks absurd.
You know what they are trying to do is this. The only thing I can just denote from Nigeria politics is this: people in power, they don't want the younger generation to be in their shoe.
Okay,
they only want their family.
Let me take you back. There is this not too young to rule policy now. So that means the not too young to rule policy is just an audio policy and not the actualized because
it can never be actualized. Although I am part of the movement then because the struggle was led by Barrister Pelumi Olajengbesi, which is a former from Osun State. He's the former SUG president of Abuja University, Uni Abuja. So he was the one that led this struggle. But at the long run, when I see the kind of policy that government is bringing about this, I see that this issue can never be actualized. Me, as an entrepreneur, as a single entity, coming from a wretched family, do you think for me to obtain a form, a nomination form of millions of naira, instead of me obtaining such, which I even know that it is even probability 50-50, it is even 50-50, either I win or I learn. What can't I just put it into business? And that is why I say that
the business will be do so.
That is why I said this law that they are making is not meant for us, but it is meant for their immediate family.
Because majority of them are bringing in their family.
Yes.
There's in Oyo State, there is this former speaker of the Oyo State, Senator Monsura Sumano. One of his sons is part of the cabinet in Oyo State. So that shows ordinary citizen cannot just be in a cabinet.
That auntie, I do call her auntie because
and we have so many.
I know her very well. Yes,
like that.
Yes. Look at when we talk about Saraki's family. Do you know how many Saraki family are in power after their father?
Saraki dynasty.
We have the Saraki. Bukola, we have Bukola Saraki. We have the younger sister, Ubemi Saraki. We have some other people like that. When you go to Osun State, you see Adeleke's family.
Wow.
They have been dominating because they are the one. They have the first power. And here we are today. Look at my oga, the person of Ogbeni. You see Ogbeni, even when Ogbeni is in power, his son is also in power. And now his son is also in power now. Look at Ondo State here. Look at the Ondo State. Look at the Ondo State. Arakuri is in power.
The not too young to run politics is actually designed for people in power presently. They want to bring in power.
That is it. That is it. They want to replace themselves with their children. They want to recycling. It's only that if we are youth of Nigeria, it's only if we can be sensible enough. That is when we can hijack this power.
But the monetary aspect is the issue.
When we talk about the monetary aspect, we are talking about the existing parties. Also, in a situation whereby all the youth just decide that, okay, We are not going for any political party now. We want to vote individually, or we want to set up our own political party, which even though
Even we have a lot of youth parties.
yes, nobody will collect money from you. But the problem that we have is that we also believe in these old fellows, our fathers, all these our fathers, that old cargo, that is whatever they say in politics.
Let me remind you that not too young bill was passed, but there is no amendment on our electoral bill.
Exactly, that's
Because
the question I actually want to ask.
so the constitutional impact of not too young to rule need to be altered when it comes to the price which will be, the people in power are the one that will decide the amounts and like influence the independent national
You
electoral
know
commission.
that when it comes to politics, aside it's a game of number, it's also a game of influence.
Yes, I don't even see politics as a game of a number. I see it as a game of influence.
Okay.
Your personality will speak.
Do you think your personality will pay the nomination bill?
Your personality cannot pay the nomination bill.
So what are we saying? So why will you say okay? It's just about the game of influence, or your influence will speak volume. So for your influence to speak volume, you must have met up all the financial criteria that have been out there. Okay, you are going, starting from your primaries, from your party, you are going to be obtaining a nomination from not less than 1 million naira, cheapest.
Sure.
Then the form which will be submitted by your party to the
And there are some people you need to
settle security personnel and then campaign, rally, jingle, publicity generally. So all these all this really cost a lot of money, and that's why is it youth that have ability, they have leadership skill, one or two things, they have what it takes, they have the ideology and the strategy that can bring us out of this economic crisis, but they remain unemployed. Is it a youth that doesn't have a particular job but have idea, will contest an election and win? So who are those people that will support him? Nobody wants to support someone with just vision